Alright, so quick thing about supports and also how to modify prints. So I was doing this, I was slicing these, and this should just be like basically an empty little circle here, but when I went to slice it, for some reason it's giving me this weird geometry here, and when I look in the file in Mesh Mixer, you can see that there is actual geometry here, which is printing, and I don't know what that's for, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of that. Off. Alright, so I'm just gonna do spool 1 and save. I have to save these out of spool 1. I have to save these out of Mesh Mixer because I'm just gonna throw this back in Maya, and the files in question are STLs, which for some reason Maya doesn't like, and it's very stupid. So, spool... Can't type today. Alright. This is an ugly video. I might put this on my other channel. Alright, so Maya. So I'm just gonna find my random spool files. Spool. Please enjoy my rambling as I do these things. Alright, so we have these dudes here, and I'm just gonna go through, and geometry kind of makes it easy to do this, sort of. Just gonna marquee select all that crap, and do that, and delete it, and now there is more geometry underneath. Yay! Oh god. Alright, hang on. Hold the thoughts. This is why I hate modifying triangulated meshes. It's honestly such a pain. Alright. That being said, having this file here does save me an enormous amount of time, because I don't need to work anything out myself, which is always nice. So I'm not complaining that this file is triangulated, I'm just complaining that this file is triangulated. But I'm very grateful to whoever took the time to actually make this, because it does save me time. And I do not like wasting time. So, there's a more efficient way to highlight these, and I will do that on the next model. Alright, so now we have holes all over the back of this. I'm just going to grab this and do mesh fill hole, which is going to give me a giant gross n-gon, fill in this weird extra try that I deleted. So I'm just going to go mesh cleanup. Great. Hooray. And that should be good for the first piece. So, I'm going to go ahead and just export selection, and I'm going to do a bad thing and just overwrite these files because I don't really care. So for this dude, I'm going to go into my side view, and I'm just going to go ahead and marquee. Let me see if this works. If it does, it's going to save me a lot of time. I'm going to try to select all the faces at a particular level in the model. Ooh, and that did. It worked beautifully. I just need to unselect all of this stuff so I don't delete half of my actual spool holder that I care about. Yes. Haha. There's always efficient ways to select things in Maya. You just need to find them sometimes. Alright. Great. So that was significantly faster, and I only accidentally left one weird face in here. Great. Alright, so again, mesh. There's still another float. No, it's not. Okay. Mesh. Fill hole. Mesh. Cleanup. Apply. Hooray. And just export this. File. File. Export selection. Oh, I'm such a spaz right now. I may have just woken up from a nap, I'm not gonna lie. I was extremely tired and I just passed out. So, I'm gonna grab these, and I'm just shift selecting these to get rid of them, hitting delete, and spool holder 1, and grab these guys, chuck them back in here, and hopefully, yes, lovely, we don't have that extra weird geometry floating aimlessly in there. So when I lay these out, no particular order, I'm just trying to keep everything centered on the build plate, so that sometimes if you put stuff really close to the edge, it has a tendency to peel a little bit, and like the sides of the print will start coming off, which is kind of gross, and also not great for the print. So I'm just going to go through and sort of, again, rotate these. I'm trying to keep everything close together. It just helps to print a little bit faster. Ooh, don't scale it. And then if I have anything tall like these pieces here, I'm also going to put them closer together wherever possible, because it doesn't make sense if you're only printing this and this, like at some point these will be finished, travel from one side of the corner to the other, like that still takes time, so I'm putting these closer together. In this case, I am going to need supports on these little guys here, and I'm going to do supports everywhere, because if I do touching build plate, this is hanging over stuff on the actual print, so touching build plate isn't going to generate supports there. And I just tried an angle of 70, and it was super aggressive, and it threw supports all over here, and I didn't want that. So I'm just going to sort of try these settings really quick, and see what happens. Hopefully doing a support angle of 80 gets rid of the supports here. If I was feeling particularly aggressive, I could print these in 2 different passes, so one for these guys with no supports, and then one for this stuff down here. That actually seemed to work pretty well, hooray! And that would also help with, you know, optimizing prints. So this actually looks like it worked pretty well. I'm just going to run down and look at how dense these supports there are. I'm going to say that this is pretty decent. I don't really care. I will add one more bottom layer to this, in case the one closest to the supports gets like really jubbly and gross. And that should help to combat that. I have a sort of sacrificial bottom layer that I don't care if it looks horrific. And yeah, so that looks pretty decent. Cool. So there is a support blocker in Cura, and it's frankly terrible and doesn't work most of the time, so I'm not going to cover it right now. I'll probably go over it at some point, because at some point you'll need it, but it just makes me really sad, and I don't want to deal with it right now. So this is my file, and I'm going to export this and send it to you guys, so cool.